Hello there, students. Thank you for joining me for this presentation. Today we're looking at U.S. History, Semester A, and we're actually in Unit 5, which is From War to Recovery, and we're looking at the New Deal tutorial. Please make sure that you have your notes. In this way, continue taking notes, and this will help you answer all of the questions that you will encounter in this tutorial, as well as all of the questions that you will encounter in the unit activity. And the objective is that you will evaluate Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal policies and his efforts to reverse the Great Depression. Let's move on. We are now on page 8 of the New Deal tutorial lesson activity, the first 100 days and the New Deal. Directions. Read the instructions for this self-check activity, type in your response to each question, and check your answers. At the end of the activity, write a brief evaluation of your work. Activity. Read more about Roosevelt's policies and programs in his first 100 days in office and about his team of New Dealers. Then answer questions. Part A. Well, first of all, make sure that you click on both of these links in order to be able to answer the questions that you will encounter in this activity. So, Part A. What happened during FDR's first 100 days in office? All right, very important. See, first 100 days in office, you will get the answer for this particular question from here, and obviously from the previous pages of this tutorial. But you need to be able to provide a good paragraph here explaining what happened. What did Roosevelt do? Did he just come in there, sit down, do nothing? Did he do anything with the banks? Did he organize any different laws that would help people? What did he do? So make sure that you provide a good paragraph here. Part B. How did the Emergency Banking Relief Act 1933 provide for recovery? The first of Roosevelt's 3 R's. So first of all, again, you need to look at basically the links that you've been given here, plus the previous information for this tutorial in order to answer the question here. Make sure that you provide here a good solid paragraph. Don't just give me 1 sentence or 2 sentences. You need at least a solid paragraph explaining basically how did the Emergency Banking Relief Act of 1933 provide for recovery. How did it help, in this case, during this Great Depression that people were losing their jobs, people didn't have anything to eat, and make sure you provide a good solid paragraph here. Part C. What was FDR's guiding philosophy? So what did FDR in this case truly believe? Did he believe that he was going to be able to help the country? Did the country believe in him? What was FDR's way of thinking, his philosophy, that made him take big steps in order to bring down this massive depression that was basically destroying the well-being of millions of Americans? Give me at least here a good solid paragraph. Let's move on to our next activity. We're now on page 13 of the New Deal tutorial lesson activity, Tennessee Valley Authority. Let's read the activity part so you'll know what to do here, and this way you can get the best grade possible. So let's see what it says. Closely look at the following 4 documents, letter A to D, and then write an essay analyzing the effects of the Tennessee Valley Authority Act on the citizens and private power utility companies in the region, using the documents and your knowledge of the Tennessee Valley Authority to write an essay. Part A. An act to improve the navigability and to provide for the flood control of the Tennessee River, to provide for reforestation and the proper use of marginal lands in the Tennessee Valley, to provide for the agricultural industrial development of said valley, to provide for the national defense by the creation of a corporation for the operation of government properties at and near the Muscle Shoals in the state of Alabama, and for other purposes, May 18, 1933. So please make sure that you are able here to respond to the question. Make sure that you are being thoughtful. Make sure that you are putting your best effort. And remember, an essay has to have an introduction, a body, paragraphs, and a conclusion. Make sure that you have all of that written according to directions. This is part B. Basically what you're doing here, you're seeing what's going on and you're interpreting this political cartoon. make sure that you use your knowledge of the previous information that you've been given. And obviously you can do some research online. Just make sure that whatever you find online that you are putting in your own words and not copying and pasting to provide an interpretation for this political cartoon here. Part C. I'm going to let you read all of the directions here because it's a whole bunch of directions, but make sure you're following through on what you're being asked to do here. Make sure that you provide, again, good solid paragraphs in order to tell your teacher or let your teacher know that you are basically understanding the content. Let's move on to the next activity. We are now on page 15 of the New Deal tutorial, and just like previous activities, you are basically moving these tiles to where they belong. Read the description, and once you know which of these tiles belongs there, make sure that you move the tile to wherever it may belong, and once you're done, you submit and you move on to the next activity. Let's move on. We're now on page 22 of the New Deal tutorial, and this activity is just like the previous one. You're looking at the descriptions here, down here, and you're moving the tiles to where they belong. Once you have moved all the tiles, make sure that you hit submit and you move on to the next page of the tutorial. And this is the end of the activities for this tutorial. Make sure you continue reviewing the other tutorials in order to complete this unit. I will see you soon.